Welcome back to the Fred Minnick Show, brought to you by the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. We're at Hometown Rising, and I'm with IMAJ, who opened Hometown Rising the first year of our country music festival. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So how did it feel up there? It was the first year festival. Did it feel good? Did you feel right?
Oh, it was beautiful. And the wonderful thing about it, too, is we had a nice breeze coming in. So it's super hot outside, but we got a nice cool breeze because we're heading into, I guess, fall. So
leading into this festival, it's been up to like 100, 102. One day my car reader said it was like 107, which I don't quite believe it was 107, but it was still really hot.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm just happy to have dedicated fans that come out during this time. I think it was awesome. Everyone was so perceptive and everything in the audience and singing songs that I wrote on guitar. you have this really incredible background. You have a famous father, and then but that's not really how you got known. You did it by doing it yourself, and so we're in a different world right now. Tell me how you did you get these fans? How did you get known? What was the work that went into it? There's a lot of work that went into it, behind the scenes. But I think the number one thing that really made people gravitate to my music is the subject. I sing about peace and love and bringing people together. And I think, we're living in a time when a lot of people are being torn apart, friends and families fighting over, different things. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is to sing about something that brings people together, social change, and that's what's really important. So I think that really touches their hearts.
It does feel like in society we're at a breaking point.
Yeah.
I just interviewed the actor Jeffrey Wright who's on Westworld, and he's an investor in this brand of whiskey called Uncle Nearest. Jeffrey's like a really outspoken African American and speaking for civil rights. And one of the things that we brought up in talking about this story of Uncle Nearest, which is named after a former enslaved person, he told me that he thought things like race relations have gotten worse in like the last 2 to 4 years. Do you feel the same way? I mean, do you think we're getting better?
I don't feel like it's gotten worse. I feel that it's been brought up to the surface. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when people, in my opinion, when people tell me, make sure you stay humble, throughout your whole career, don't get a big head. Whatever comes out has been bubbling under there the entire time, in my opinion.
So people have just been trying to keep it down.
Well, it wasn't in vogue, and now it seems to be in vogue to, speak negatively towards each other and be derogatory and get away with it. And, people are now saying what used to be in the shadows. And so the snails are kind of coming out of the shadows and bringing it to light. And that's what the internet does too. I mean, it brings a lot of stuff to light. So I think it was always there. It never really went away. But I think when it does, it will eventually. I'm kind of idealist in that I think it will eventually go away, because we have to shift the paradigm from survival of the fittest to something abundant. I mean, we have so many sources here on this planet, resources, so why can't our minds catch up with the beauty and abundance of the planet?
So you told me here earlier that you don't drink or
no,
smoke.
No.
Is there what is your is it a health reason? You just don't like it, or?
Oh, I've never drank alcohol before. I just don't. I don't like the idea of something that kind of changes your faculties, if you will.
What? You mean these things change your faculties?
I don't know.
I've never heard of this.
I don't know if I said it correctly, but that's just for me. I don't look at it as a bad thing. I mean, I was just talking with someone who talks about how bourbon isn't just, taking shots and call it a day. I'm not sure how it's drunk, but it's something that sometimes can bring people together too. And in my opinion,
it's interesting, because that is something that I've been trying to push for in my career, is for us to look at this as like something of like bringing people together. And when you have one or two, that's typically the case. It's like it's a good time. People let things out. But when you get to 4 and 5 and 6, then you're kind of abusing the product.
Right.
And so the whole thing is like try to get people to not abuse it. Now your choice to do neither smoking or drinking is fascinating because your generation is actually saying that they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They don't want to drink. They don't want to smoke.
Yeah.
And coming from my generation, which was like, shall we say the opposite of that?
Lots of drinking and smoking. Actually, my generation is super into marijuana. So, I mean, but I think a lot of it is I think it's really important for medical purposes, possibly. Again, just because I don't do something doesn't mean someone else shouldn't. I don't put what my views on other people.
That's true. You're not Judgy McJudge.
No.
Yeah, you're very.
Our differences are beautiful, and if we can bring them together in a beautiful painting, then all the colors can make something wonderful. So
that's a very nice way to put it. One of the things that I really love about your career and your trajectory where you're going is that you use something that every one of us use in Facebook to kind of get your name out there. And I've seen a lot of artists use YouTube, and but I've never really seen anyone use Facebook. Like, what was it that kind of like propelled you to use that medium to get your sound in people's ears?
Really, Facebook?
Facebook. People. I think they do. It just they're not successful at it.
Oh. Okay.
How is that? I've seen more successful ventures on YouTube than Facebook when it comes to musicians. So I was curious, like, how did you? Because your views are in the multi-millions.
With colorblind.
Yeah,
colorblind. I don't know. I think maybe it's just for some reason that platform, it speaks to the people on that platform. A lot of people share news stories and things like that on Facebook, and my music is all about what's happening in the world. So maybe that could be a part of it, but I'm not quite sure exactly.
Facebook is also, to me, is like it's where people go to find peace. Sometimes they go to there to find peace and they get angry and go in another direction.
Tangent.
And maybe your music brought them that. So that's pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
So this is normally at the point of the show where I pour someone a whiskey.
Maybe Uncle Kevin will drink it.
I know he will.
He's popular now.
I could tell he was wanting to grab one, but if this wanted to be the moment, you wanted to have one, we could maybe. But I don't push.
It's okay.
But thank you so much for coming on. What is up and coming? What's your new album? What's your new songs coming out? Tell us about those.
So I'm working on my new album right now, and it's gonna be like 90% written just by me on guitar, and then the other percentage I co-wrote with someone else. So I'm really excited about this because it's really me, if you will, this next album. And I'll also be opening for Billy Ray Cyrus at the State Fair of Texas.
Oh, nice. Are you going to jump in with some Old Town Road? Do your own version of Old Town Road?
Why not? Let's do it. Now, so at the State Fair of Texas, I have my own show, and then I'll open for him, and we'll do Old Town Road together. There you go.
No shit, you really are going to do it.
I'll jump on it. I mean, if he wants me to.
That's my 5-year-old's favorite song. I mean, I think it's a lot of people's favorite song in the world.
Oh, yeah. It's such a fun song.
So you have to ride your horse, though, to get to the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
and then you get on the stage and you do Old Town Road.
I could totally do. Actually, we had a concert when I rode in on a horse singing opera. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So country music is kind of like, it needs your voice. But I also don't feel like you're just country. Like, I feel like you can do anything. So why do you continue to go chase the kind of like country stick? Is there something special about this genre that really appeals to you?
I feel like my voice just naturally goes there when I sing. When I sing, for some reason, it's the most natural feeling to me is when I'm singing in a country song. So that's really the simple answer of that. But also, country music just reminds me of being on a back porch with your family and friends, enjoying yourself, looking up at the stars. It just reminds me of a really peaceful time, and so I've gravitated towards it.
I love that. 2 challenges for you.
Yeah.
You gotta find a way to sing about a truck, and you have to find a way to sing about a dog. So so those are your challenges going forward for the genre. Maybe you can combine it in one song and get it over with, but bring the piece of all that together.
It's funny you say that because I wrote a song about a train, so I do have a train song.
You got a train song. Okay, so we're going the right direction. We got some mechanicals. Moving mechanical here.
I don't drive a truck. I actually just got sponsored what is it? Chrysler 300.
Oh.
So
it's a nice ride.
A black Chrysler 300 Sport. So what if I sing about her?
Yeah.
Just make it country.
How do we get that in a good? You're taking your dog to the kennel in my Chrysler 300 Sport.
Right.
And I see this truck, and it made me think of my mama.
Or my Uncle Kevin, really.
Made
me think of my Uncle Kevin.
And
I'm there with Everhart, which is my Yorkie. So she's a dog.
Well, I think we have the next.
So now you're a co-writer.
No, I don't.
So now you have to sign up for either CSAC or BMI.
Yeah, now I got to do. I have to join those unions and stuff and pay the dues.
And then you have to come on stage and go on tour.
I could. Yeah, I could pull that off.
Could you?
I would mostly be drinking bourbon on stage. But
okay.
Nothing new there, but
that'd be awesome.
And you can be like, that's my bourbon up friend over there.
There you go.
But
then they'll really accept me because I have my bourbon friend.
Well, I'm happy to open doors for you with bourbon. And
awesome.
So thank you.
So. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Good. No. I like where you're going. What do we got?
I have an idea.
Let's do this.
But you'll probably hate it.
I probably won't.
Okay, so since I don't drink, I was thinking, and they have non-alcoholic wines.
Yeah, actually, I have non-alcoholic spirits too. I'm really about those.
Yeah, so I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if, because someone asked me, if you had one bourbon drink, what would it be? Or what would you call it? What would you name it? Mm-hmm. And the thing that popped into my head was Angel in a Barrel. And it would be non-alcoholic. I'm not sure if we could ever pull that off. But if it's possible, then people who don't drink alcohol can enjoy a non-alcoholic bourbon with their bourbon friends. And
that would be cool. And there's
cheers.
Efforts to do that. There's non-alcoholic spirits out there right now. But bourbon has very particular rules to it that the bourbon distillers would probably
so it'd be called something else.
Yeah,
but
so they have in order for it to be called bourbon, there's a lot of rules that go to
That's right. Evan Williams. Yeah. I went through the whole thing and they told us about that. I forgot.
Yeah, these distillers, man, they spend a lot of money on lobbyists. They don't mess around.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, Congress is very tightly wound into bourbon. Maybe it's because they're all drinking, but But so this is a first for me. I would like to propose it. Give you a toast with this empty glass here, and it's just let this be the sound be bring some kind of harmonious peace lyric to you about a truck.
They're there in spirit.
They're there.
There you go.
Cheers. Thank you so much for coming on. And IMAJ, again, go check her out on iTunes, Spotify. Where anywhere else we can find you? Pandora, iTunes, Spotify. If y'all are on Instagram, IMAJ @IMAJ. Man, that is so cool. Yeah. Thank you for watching and listening to the Fred Minnick Show, brought to you by the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Cheers.